Good afternoon and welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. We are here today for a public hearing to hear from customers of Dominion Energy regarding docket number 2022-259E, which is Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's application for a mid-period adjustment to increase base rates for the recovery of electric fuel cost. Let's begin by taking a roll call of commissioners. Present in the hearing room, we have Commissioner Justin Williams, Vice Chair Powers, Commissioner Thomas, Commissioner Carolee Williams, Commissioner Caston, and Chair Belser, and with us virtually we have Commissioner Irvin. I want to proceed with taking appearances from parties. Who's appearing for the applicant?
Good afternoon, Chair Belser and members of the commission. My name is Matt Gissendaner. I'm the company's attorney, and with me this afternoon is Chad Burgess, who's also the company's attorney, and Michael Anselmo of the McGuire Woods Law Firm. Together we represent the company in matters pending before the commission.
Thank you, Mr. Gissendaner. Do we have anyone from CMC Steel, South Carolina? Anyone from South Carolina Energy Users Committee? City of Orangeburg?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and Commissioners. Henry Little from Spiegel and McDermott on behalf of the City of Orangeburg.
Thank you, Mr. Little. On behalf of South Carolina Coastal Conservation League and Southern Alliance for Clean Energy.
Good afternoon, Chair Belser, Commissioners. This is Kate Mixon, and with me is Emma Clancy, and we represent SACE and CCL.
Thank you, Ms. Mixon. Office of Regulatory Staff.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the Commission. My name is Chris Huber, and I'm here as attorney for the Office of Regulatory Staff. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there preliminary statements or matters which the parties would like to make at this time? I'll recognize Dominion Energy first.
Thank you, Chair Belser. The company would just like to reiterate, as it did this morning, that we have customer assistance representatives watching the broadcast, and they are available at any time during this afternoon's hearing and during our regular business hours from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, to answer any questions that may be on our customers' minds. You can reach these customer representatives at 1-800-922-8802. That's 1-800-922-8802. And we just invite our customers to please give us a call if they need assistance with their bill, or if they have questions about how to make their home more energy efficient, or want to participate in our demand side management programs. We want our customers to be fully informed about everything that Dominion Energy can do for them. The other thing, Chair Belser, as we discussed this morning, is that the company would request, consistent with prior practice in public night hearings, that the company be allowed to present any evidentiary objections to the testimony here this afternoon in writing within a certain time after the transcript has been made available, and then allow the other ORS and the other parties a certain amount of time to make a response to such objection. And I believe we discussed this morning that we would see if there were a need for that after.
That's correct, Mr. Gissendaner. Thank you for the reminder. If that becomes necessary, then I'll need the parties to work out a schedule for those filings. Thank you. Any of the interveners? Any comments, opening comments? Mr. Huber, on behalf of ORS, any comments?
Very briefly, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, my name is Chris Huber, and I am here as the attorney for the Office of Regulatory Staff, which is also commonly referred to by the acronym ORS. The ORS is a state agency which is separate from the Public Service Commission. ORS is charged with making recommendations to the Commission regarding the application and representing the public interest. Importantly, this hearing today is for you, the consumers, to have an opportunity to share your thoughts and comments regarding Dominion Energy South Carolina's application for a mid-period adjustment to increase the base rates it charges for recovery of fuel costs. If you would like to contact our agency, the RS Consumer Services Division is available at 1-800-922-1531, and they are available to take your call on weekdays from 8:30 to 5, and they are monitoring today's hearing virtually. With that, I appreciate everyone's attention and participation. And Madam Chair, I had already asked the pre-registration sheet be marked, and it's my understanding it will contain both this morning's and this afternoon's participants in the hearing.
That's correct, Mr. Huber. Thank you.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Thank you. I recognize our staff counsel, Ms. Clausen, to provide some remarks and instructions.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the Commission. Good afternoon. We would like to thank everybody for appearing this afternoon at this public hearing. This proceeding before the Public Service Commission is in docket number 2022-259-E and concerns the application of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated for a mid-period adjustment to increase base rates for the recovery of electric fuel costs for electric service provided to customers in its assigned service territory in the state of South Carolina. Before we begin, we do have a few preliminary matters to go over. While we may be holding this hearing virtually and in person, it is important to remember that this public hearing is being conducted at all times as if everyone were in the hearing room or courtroom in Columbia. The Commission is mandated by law to follow certain procedures. Only those persons who have signed up will be able to speak. The Commission won't hear from you unless you have signed up to testify. If you are signed up to speak, you are testifying as a witness about facts known to you related to Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated. You will be placed under oath, telling everyone that what you are saying is the truth known to you. Your statements must be under oath in order to be evidence in this case and considered by the commissioners. After you are called on to speak, please give your name, the name of the street that you live on, and the town. You do not need to provide your house number. The transcript of this hearing will be published and placed in the record as required by law so that anyone can read it. If you will please confirm that you are also a customer of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated. At that time, you may proceed with whatever you want to tell the Commission through your testimony. Please speak clearly so that everyone can hear you, including the court reporter. After you are done speaking, please remain on the line or available for any clarifying questions that the parties or the commissioners may have for you. Everyone who is signed up to speak will be given the same time limit of 3 minutes. We have a timer, and we will indicate when your 3 minutes is up. The day hearing for the merits in this case will begin at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, November 29th, 2022. This is when the commissioners will hear the position of the company, the South Carolina Office of Regulatory Staff, and all other parties intervening in this matter regarding Dominion's proposed rate increase. The merits hearing is generally a hearing in which various technical people will testify. It will continue until all witnesses and final statements or motions have been presented by all parties. All proceedings and hearings will be live streamed on the Commission's website, and anyone can watch it through the Commission's website at www.psc.sc.gov. From there, you can click on the live stream tab. This is the second of 2 scheduled public hearings in this docket. Please note that you can only provide testimony one time during the public hearing, and you do not get to testify again at any other public hearing in this docket. Last and importantly, I have mentioned that if you are signed up to speak, you are a witness testifying in this matter. I must let you know that the 7 commissioners before you are what's called a quasi-judicial body in South Carolina. This means they are judges in this rate case. They are subject to the rules of judicial conduct and the laws passed by our General Assembly. And just like if you were a witness called in a trial at the county courthouse, or if you were serving as a juror, You cannot ask questions of the judge and expect him or her to answer. The same applies here. So regardless if a commissioner wants to answer a question or clarify any matter of law, the commissioner simply cannot answer questions. They are bound by the same judicial rules as a judge. This is the public's opportunity to be heard and to say what you want the Public Service Commission to know concerning the Dominion's request for an adjustment in its rates and charges for electric service. If you have any problem calling into the commission, please remember to try again.
Thank you, Ms. Clausen. We will now proceed with the witnesses who have indicated they'd like to testify. Our first witness is Lou Bluford. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, Madam Chair. Do we have Lou Bluford on the line?
Yes.
Good afternoon. If you would please affirm that the testimony you are about to give represents the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Thank you. Will you please provide the commission with your name, your street name, but not your full address, and whether you are a Dominion Energy South Carolina customer?
Yes. My address is Cherokee Street, Columbia, and I am a customer of Dominion Energy.
Thank you, ma'am. And your name?
Lou or Louis Bluford.
Excellent. Thanks very much. You may begin your testimony. You will have 3 minutes.
Yes. I understand that Dominion Energy was granted a 5% increase earlier this year. So for them to come back now and request another huge increase of 18% is definitely just uncalled for. I just hope that the Public Service Commissioner will not grant them that sort of raise. With the price of groceries, gasoline, and everything else out of the roof, we can barely survive. I'm a senior living on a fixed income. I'm having problems just paying for one of my asthma pump, which costs me $42 a month. I'm living in a house with mold. I can't get any help with that. I'm sick right now because the mold is making me sick. I need to take care of that. I had to rip up my carpet because it was making me sick. So presently, I'm walking on plywood. I'm a diabetic. I shouldn't be walking on a floor that I can step on a nail, and it can cause me tremendous problems. So I say do not give them another raise. They do not deserve it. We have to live. We have to pay bills and everything like that. We just cannot afford to neglect our personal health and well-being just so we can pay the electric bill. I don't even keep my temperature high because I don't want to have to be bombarded with a huge bill every month. I have family that lives in Virginia, and when I told them we were getting Dominion, they said good luck. And another thing, what happened to that $1,000 that we were supposed to get? I'm still checking the mail every day for that. Thank you so much for your time.
Ms. Bluford, thank you so much for your testimony. Please hold on the line to see if any of the parties or commissioners have any clarifying questions.
Okay.
Any of the parties, questions? Commissioners, any questions for this witness? Ms. Bluford, no one has questions. It doesn't appear that anyone has.
Madam Chair,
Oh, excuse me, Commissioner Irvin?
thank you. Ms. Bluford, can you hear me?
Yes.
Have you contacted any of the nonprofits in your county for assistance with your mold problem?
I have. I've reached out to so many different places, and you just can't get help. You just can't get help. I've even contacted Congressman Cliven's office, and they've reached out to several organizations to try to help me. They just don't want to help you. If you don't need a roof or something like that, there's no help. If you don't need a roof or an AC unit, there's no help. All of the nonprofits, that's all they want to give you and nothing else. But if someone else has some suggestion, I'm open. Please let me know.
Well, have you gotten an estimate from a cleaning service as to what it would cost to take care of the mole removal?
Yes. I've gotten prices range from $3,700 up to $22,000. But I know it's something that I'm going to have to take care of because it's really affected me. Right now, I'm sick to the stomach. I was in the ER last week, and I just feel like I'm going to have to go again. Something is going to have to be done. I just thought that once you become a senior, those are supposed to be your golden years. But what's golden about this when you can't even get help?
Well, I'm sorry that you're suffering from that, and I'm hoping that you can get an estimate that's lower. Those estimates sound high to me. How large is your home?
I'm sorry, what now?
What size is your home? How many rooms do you have?
Oh, my home is only about 1,250 square feet. It's a small house.
Well, I'm somewhat familiar with this process where they come in and wipe down the walls and the floors and get the mold removed. And it shouldn't cost that much. I would encourage you to try to find another estimate and then contact your local United Way or maybe Habitat for Humanity and see if they would assist you with that project.
I've checked with both of them. Habitat for Humanity built my house. They can't help. The other organization said they didn't have any money. But while I'm on the air, I would like to summons WLTX or WIS that do this Family Helping Family every year. They concentrate only on people with children. I would hope that somebody would consider adopting a senior for Christmas. We need help too.
Have you contacted the senior citizens agencies in your area?
I'm sorry, what is that? Senior Resource?
Yes.
I've reached out to them too. Lots of these places, they won't even call you back. So if anybody have my city council, I've reached out to city and county. They won't even return your call.
Are you paying Habitat for Humanity rent, or did you purchase the home?
Oh no,
under their
my
program?
house has been paid for several years ago, and it's almost to the point where once you get through paying Habitat, it's like they forget all about you. They were one of the first people that I reached out to. They wouldn't even help me rip up the carpet. I had to find a church organization. A bunch of seniors came and ripped up my carpet for me.
I hope that the Office of Regulatory staff might be able to assist you. Mr. Huber, could you give this lady a number to call and see if we can find some assistance for her?
Yes, Commissioner Irvin, that number is 1-800-922
1-800
922
922
1531.
1531.
And
this is to where now?
That is the ORS Consumer Services Department, and they'll be glad to speak with you about some of the assistance programs that exist. And I'm certainly the company would as well. Our Consumer Services Department is available from 8:30 to 5 on weekdays.
Okay. I will give them a call. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
call them and see if they can help you.
Okay.
Mr. Huber and his staff are very good about following up. Hopefully they can find
Right.
some help for you.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Commissioners, any further questions for this witness?
Chairman Belzer,
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Ms. Bluefort, one other name to give you is a company or a nonprofit called Homeworks. And I know from having volunteered with them that they do come into the home and will do renovations. And there appears to be a Columbia Homeworks. So there's one more idea for you. Good luck.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm familiar with them. I'll give them a call.
Ms. Bluefort, thank you for your testimony today.
Okay.
It appears there are no more questions, so you're excused. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Our next witness is Neil Polhemus. Neil Polhemus, are you on the line?
I am.
Am I pronouncing that last name correctly?
That's fine.
Okay, thank you. If you would please affirm that the testimony you're about to give represents the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
It is.
Thank you, sir. Please give the commission your name, your street name, but not your complete address, and whether you are a Dominion Energy South Carolina customer.
I live at 1123 Coke Street in Columbia, and I am a Dominion Energy ratepayer.
Thank you. And please provide your full name.
My name is Neil Polhemus.
Thank you, Mr. Polhemus. After providing this, you may begin your testimony. You will have 3 minutes.
All right. As a Dominion Energy ratepayer, the proposed tax rate increase would impact my life negatively in a number of ways. Specifically, the rate increase would raise my bill by almost 14%, making an already high $155 bill raised to over $176. This will be the highest rate increase in over a decade. I can't afford this rate increase and continue to provide my children the lifestyle they've become accustomed to. Dominion just raised rates by 5% this past spring. This proposed rate increase would raise bills by almost 20% in under a year. This is inexcusable, and the fluctuating energy prices should not be shouldered by the ratepayer, but by Dominion, who fails to look for long-term efficient energy solutions. Dominion promised to cut rates when they came into South Carolina. Now, at the first opportunity, they're proposing to increase rates by double what they cut. This policy of increasing rates on the backs of ratepayers shows that Dominion was dishonest and disingenuous with the citizens of South Carolina, and consequently cannot be trusted. Citizens are already being pushed to the limits due to inflation and fear raising heating bills this coming year in an expected cold weather winter. A rate increase at this time is just cruel. Dominion failed to consider how the rate increase would impact the citizens of South Carolina, those who are struggling to make ends meet and work each month from check to check. Many South Carolinians that already have to make hard, difficult decisions between paying utilities and other necessities won't be able to bear this rate increase. The working class citizens of South Carolina are being ignored and bearing an undue burden. Dominion is trying to cast the blame for increases on everyone and everything but themselves. For years now, Dominion has been told that the volatility in the pricing of gas is on the horizon. Yet, leaders in the industry lead when times are tough and challenging. Leaders don't blame others for their failures. Dominion's failure to adjust their energy policy shows they are not capable or willing to be leaders in the industry. If Dominion had invested in clean energy, none of this would be necessary. Our state has an amazing clean energy potential, but Dominion has done next to nothing to take advantage of this. Again, Dominion's failure to plan accordingly is evident, and they must shoulder the blame and the costs, not the ratepayer. My money, as a Dominion ratepayer, should not be going to pay for more costly fossil fuels, which contributes to a host of environmental and health issues. Dominion proposed rate increase is short-sighted and looks out selfishly for its own interests and not the interests of the local ratepayer in South Carolina. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Polimas. Please hold on the phone to see if there are any questions from parties or commissioners. Parties? Commissioners, any questions for this witness? Mr. Polimas, thank you for your testimony today and for your participation in the hearing. As there are no questions, you may be excused. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Our next witness is Louise Gettings. Louise Gettings, are you in the building? Excellent. Ms. Gettings, thank you. If you would please affirm that the testimony you're about to give represents the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
Thank you. Will you please provide your name, your street name, but not your complete address, and whether you are a Dominion Energy South Carolina customer?
My name is Louise Gettings. I live on Skylight Drive, West Columbia. I am a Dominion Energy customer for as long as they've been in this area. Okay, I'd like to start by saying that I don't know how many months ago, but I received an email from Dominion Energy. I don't think I was the only person to get this email, but I am asking you to get this email and look at it. I don't have it word for word. I didn't save it, unfortunately, but you can get this email, and I'm begging you to get it. I was so upset when I read this thing. I couldn't believe it. They are trying to look so good in the community. They said, we are giving or donating. The reason I want you to get it is I can't remember the dollar amount, but I almost fell out my chair. To black colleges, I don't know who else, but they are trying to look good in the community by giving away money. It's not the stockholders. I got this email from Dominion Energy. I guess it was 6 months ago, or could have been 8 months. I'm not sure. But before you make a decision, you need to read this email. Now, if they can give this much money away, it could be billions. I can't remember. I know it was more than millions. If they can give all this money away, it's our money, and then turn around and give us a rate increase, is that right? In a sense, we're giving black colleges or whoever they'd like to give money to, we're giving money to that. Why can't we decide who we want to give our money to? I got so mad, I called R.J. May, my representative, and I said, I don't want Dominion Energy anymore. Can I get Mid-Carolina, who is a block down my street? And he looked into it and he said, no, you're locked in. You don't have a choice. And I was furious at that. Why can't I have a choice who I have energy with, who I pay my bill to? My husband is sitting back there. He's almost 80 years old, and he gets real cold at night because I'm trying to save energy. He's sitting there, freezing, and I turned the thermostat down to, I'd like it on 65 because I want to save money. He wants it on 70. So we've been married 53 years, but we're fussing over that, trying to cut our bill down. We're senior citizens on fixed income, and our daughter just had twin boys. She lost her job. My other daughter lost her job. We're having to financially help them. And you know, you got inflation is through the roof. Groceries, gas, housing, I mean, everything. They could lose their house, you know, that they just bought. And so we're concerned. And it just makes me mad, like the people before me. They've already got a rate increase. They're asking for more. Next year, they'll ask for more, or as soon as they can, they'll ask for more. It never goes down. It goes up, up, up. And you are the people that can say, stop, no more. And I'm asking you to do that. And I don't know how much more time I've got. I've got health problems. As you can see, I've had cancer. I lost my eye. My husband's got health issues, and it's easy for them to ask for money, but it's hard for us to give it. There's a lot of people out there like us that are saying no. It's hard. They'll be committing suicide. They'll be getting homeless, lose their house, because we're being squeezed to death by inflation and bills going up, up, up. When is it going to stop? So I'm asking you again, please say no. Be brave. Help us, the people of South Carolina, in this area where Dominion is. If they're having problems, maybe they need to make some internal, changes. Maybe the people they've got heading this up does not know what they're doing. If they need these rate increases, maybe we need to look in that area. But I'm begging you to look at that email, because that's why I'm here today. That email upset me so much. And I'm begging you to get that email. They have it, and they can get it to you. And before you make that decision, please look at that.
Ms. Gettings, thank you for your testimony. I'm over here. I know it's kind of hard with this long bench, but thank you very much. Hold on just a second. Let me see if anyone has any questions for you. Any of the parties? Any questions for Ms. Gettings? Commissioners, any questions?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Urban?
thank you. Ms. Gettings,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry to hear that you had these health problems, and your husband's retired, is that correct?
We're both retired from the school district.
Have you all struggled to make your power bills on a monthly basis?
Well, I wouldn't say, everybody's struggling, I think, today, unless you're a millionaire. But that's not really the point. The point is, there's a lot of people worse off than me that couldn't be here today because they don't know how to get here. They don't know when it was. I have not seen it in the state paper. I haven't seen any advertisement about where this meeting is. You can come to it. So I think that's why nobody's here today. But there's plenty of people out there hurting. Like I said, they are hurting. Our country's in a bad spot right now. Instead of paying my bill, I could give it to my daughters and her children, their children. I've got 4 grandchildren. There's plenty of places I could give it to, but I don't want them deciding where my money's going. If I want to give it to the black colleges, I'll give it to the black colleges. As a matter of fact, we already are. The legislature is asked, I think, every year by South Carolina State, by Benedict and Allen, all of them. Clafton, give us some money. Give us some money. They're getting plenty of money from Black Lives Matter and all these other Bank of America. They put a full page ad in the state paper saying they were giving money to black colleges. Everybody's giving to them to look good. They want to look good. Hey, look what I'm doing. Well, you know, they shouldn't be doing that. Let us give our money where we want to give it to.
Anything further, Commissioner Irvin?
Thank you for appearing today and speaking for those who could not come. And no further questions, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you for having this, and I am so glad that I live in America where we can come to places like this and voice our opinion. And thank you for doing the right thing.
Ms. Gettings, thank you for your testimony this afternoon. We appreciate your participation in this hearing and wish you good luck, you and your husband and your children. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Our next witness is Cedric Blaine Spain. Mr. Blaine Spain, are you on the line?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. If you would please affirm that the testimony you're about to give represents the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Affirm.
Thank you, sir. Will you please provide the commission with your name, your street name, but not your full address, and whether you are a Dominion Energy South Carolina consumer?
Cedric D. Blaine Spain, Cates Bay Highway, Conway, South Carolina.
Thank you, sir. You may begin your testimony. You will have 3 minutes.
Greetings, Madam Chair, Commissioners, and all in your respective places. Thank you for this opportunity to address the Commission concerning docket number 2022-259E, Dominion's rate increase for South Carolinians. I concur with the previous witnesses and also add in an article here locally around November 4, 2022, a South Carolina State House representative was quoted and quote, Myrtle Beach is the perfect example where you see you have a great workforce. You got a great industry, specifically tourism. But unfortunately, the growth occurs and the property value rises, then the workforce can't afford to live in the area they work in, end quote. Well, I feel this same way today as we hear for this hearing. When I looked at salary.com, it said that the chair, president, CEO salary for Dominion is at $6,925,435. The executive vice president and COO at $3,425,569. And then you want to increase the rate on the working people, the people that are struggling, as it said before, to feed their families, that are coming still out of a COVID pandemic. Here you have the opportunity to take that, what you're giving out, instead of taking it from the mouths and the expenses of children, seniors, disabled, veterans, and all your struggling customers shouldn't go lagging for heating, air, cooking, and other essentials because they have to balance whether to heat their homes, to cook a meal, or eat sandwiches in the evening. No, I am not a direct customer because where I live in the rural area, we don't have the luxury of gas lines. But the church I attend have Dominion gas. This rate increase is certainly would be detrimental to the customers and to all of those. You have your executives with lucrative pensions while your customers who live in low-income, underserved communities that are disproportionately impacted by government policies, that are struggling at this hour to make ends meet. Why should the customers, those South Carolinians that have been here, pay the blunt like in our community? We do have some homes, like me and others, that have gas pipelines up the street from me that run through by their home, that was put in by SC&G and Scanner and now Dominion. But the other members of the community can enjoy that luxury of gas because it only serves the new subdivisions that are built in our home. Why should the existing customers that have been here, the working, the some 80,000 hospitality and other employees of Horry County and the 7th Congressional District and South Carolinians pay the blunt so that CEOs can live in luxury houses, have the gas they want and the luxuries, living off of paychecks, but your customers suffer? I speak I come as one. But I stand here today speaking as the hundreds of thousands of the voiceless that weren't able to be here today, that weren't able to get online, who's afraid to get online, to speak their truth, that they're struggling, that this rate increase would certainly be a further blow to their pockets while your CEOs and all enjoy life so lavishly. Should the customers know they shouldn't bear the brunt of this rate? And I ask this commission, again, I come as one, but I stand as hundreds of thousands of South Carolinians asking you to oppose this rate increase. We're here to serve the people. When we think about our elected and appointed positions and staff, when we think about all humanity, what is best for them? And in this case, a rate increase is not best for them, not now or not any time in the future. I think to be more fiscally responsible, this company needs to go back and do some serious rethinking of the salaries they issue out and the monies that they may waste instead of getting off the backs of hard-working people that are already struggling, who are looking for livable wages, not only here in Horry County, but across South Carolina. Thank you, commissioners. Thank you for this opportunity, and I beg you to vote no for this rate increase. Thank you, and I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Blaine Spain. Hold just a moment. Let me see if there are any questions. Mr. Gissendanner.
Chair Belzer, the company doesn't have any questions to Mr. Blaine Spain. However, we would object to his testimony and ask that it be stricken from the record. Understood Mr. Blaine Spain to indicate that he was not a customer of the company, either electric or, well, he specifically said he was not a gas customer. He also indicated that he lives in Conway, and he spoke about Horry County. This is an electric case, and we do not provide electric service in that area. So since he's not either an electric or a gas customer, his testimony is irrelevant in this proceeding, and we would ask that it be stricken.
Mr. Blaine Spain, do you understand that the day's proceeding deals with the electric side, does not have anything to do with the cost of gas serving residential or end user customers?
Well, I probably referenced that and everything. I do know it's docket number 2022, so in inserting gas because I had my previous problems with them, but I do understand it. But I ask respect to that commissions reconsider because when I speak for not only just this, I speak for the whole South, all the South Carolinians when concerning this matter of this rate increase.
Let me just clarify. Are you an electric customer of Dominion Energy?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Blaine Spain. Any further questions? Yes, commissioners, any questions of this witness? Mr. Blaine Spain, thank you for your testimony today, and hope you have a good afternoon, rest of the day. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
You're excused. Mr. Gissendanner, this is a public hearing to hear from customers. I think the commission can weigh the evidence and relevancy of testimony that's received. But thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to overrule the objection at this time. Next witness.
Next witness is Tonji Washington. Ms. Washington, are you on the line?
I am.
Thank you. If you would please affirm that the testimony you're about to give represents the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Thank you. Will you please provide the commission with your name, your street name, but not your full address, and whether you are a Dominion Energy South Carolina customer?
Tonji Washington, Keswick Court, and I am a Dominion Energy customer.
Thank you, ma'am. You may begin your testimony. You will have 3 minutes.
Okay, basically, I oppose the increase because I thought the purpose of us switching from SCENG and going with Dominion was to help reduce the cost to all customers across the state. And it was a struggle paying energy bills with SCNG. And now with this increase, we'll be back in the same boat that we started in. So it defeats the whole purpose to me. I do work full time. I own a home, and I struggle to pay my energy bill every month. My energy bill is anywhere from $300 to $400 a month for a 2-level home. So I just think that they need to consider that before making this increase.
Ms. Washington, does that complete your statement that you wanted to give us this afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on just a second. Let me see if there are any questions for you. Parties, any questions for Ms. Washington? Commissioners, any questions for this witness?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Washington, good afternoon to you today.
Hello.
I just have one question for you. How did you find out about the hearing today?
I received notice from HOA about the increase in our electric bill. So that's how I received notice.
Okay. Did you have an opportunity to read that notice, or was it a summary provided by your HOA manager?
It was basically like a summary provided by them.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Vice Chair Powers, question?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Washington, you say your bill runs from $300 to $400 a month.
Yes.
And how many people do you live with?
It's just me in the home. I had 3 children here at the time, but it's just me in the home, and I work most of the time. And my light bill is still extremely high. It's not as high as it used to be with SCNG when they was constantly. To me, it was like they're doing increases every 3 to 6 months. But you know, it's still ridiculously high. And like I said, I struggle with my energy bill now as it is. So that's going to add an additional burden on me, and I'm sure many other customers with an increase.
All right. When you work or are at work, do you adjust your thermostats or cut your air conditioner or heat up or down when you're gone?
I do. And I actually unplug everything pretty much in the home because they said that would help. So I use the energy saving tips as well. The only time my light bill is decent is around, I'll say around springtime, because I really don't have to run the unit. A lot of times I'll just open the windows and get the fresh air. But around starting in Christmas on through March, my bill is going to go even higher.
Okay. Would you be willing for Dominion to have someone come and see what's causing your bills to be so high, or provide some help with that?
That's fine. I do go by their report because the report that I get from Dominion, it'll tell you how you compare to your neighbors. So I do read the report because I'm trying to find ways to save. I don't want to put all my money. I feel like I'm putting all my money into an electric bill.
How do you compare to your neighbors?
Mine is a slightly higher at times, and then sometimes I come a little under. But like I said, I don't understand why it would be higher when it's just me in the home. And like I said, when I leave here, I leave my home around 7 o'clock. I don't return home till a little after 5, sometimes later than that.
Okay. Dominion Energy has a customer service number. Do you have any way to write this down or not?
I have their information. I get that report, and I open it every month, every time I get it.
Okay. Well, maybe there's something that needs fixing that's causing your bills to be so high. But if you can find some way to get some help, try and get it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioners, anything further? Commissioner Caston?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Washington, how many children did you say you had living there?
Previously, I had 3 children living here.
3? And that made me think about, my children are gone, but the grandchildren seem to like to hang out at my house a lot. But I've observed that they absolutely don't know how to cut off a light or anything out. Matter of fact, they leave every single one of them on. Now, I'm not saying your children do that, but I would definitely look at all those kind of things and look at that energy audit, because you sound like a person who really, really, really wants to try to find a way to reduce their cost. And I applaud that, and I think that's a wise move. You you can't make your children leave, but it did cause my bill to drop down. I understand.
Yeah.
Well, thank
My
you.
children are grown now. They're no longer in the home. My grandson comes periodically, but my children are gone. When my children were here, it was a little higher. But they're no longer here. They're grown and on their own. So it's just me and the home.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck at searching for those ways, and I applaud that effort. And thank you very much for your testimony.
You're welcome.
Commissioners, anything further? Ms. Washington, thank you for your testimony today and your participation in today's proceeding. Your testimony, like the other witnesses that have appeared today, will certainly, it'll be part of the hearing transcript and will be considered in our deliberations in this case. So we appreciate all the witnesses today appearing in either live, in person, or via telephone. So thank you very much. And there's no further questions, so you're excused. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Bachman, are there any other witnesses?
Madam Chair, that concludes our list of witnesses for this afternoon.
Okay. We certainly do appreciate all the witnesses who've appeared today. It certainly aids in understanding and helping us make decisions in these cases. We are bound by the law and the facts, and this is part of the hearing transcript and part of the record, so will be part of our deliberations. We will conclude this Mr. Gissenden or Mr. Anselmo?
Chair Belzer, when you're done, we would like to bring one thing to the commission's attention before we leave today.
Okay.
Just whenever you're ready for us.
Well, I'm getting ready to recess until tomorrow, so do you want to come to the podium?
Thank you, Chair Belzer. I just wanted to alert the commission, just an FYI, that over the holiday weekend, all the parties worked very diligently to reach what we believe is a comprehensive settlement agreement. All the parties to the case, including all interveners, have signed on. It was recently filed with the commission, I believe, around 3:45 today and served on the parties. Just wanted to let you know that in advance of tomorrow's hearing.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Anselmo. With that, we will adjourn the customer public hearing, and we will return tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for what's called the merits hearing, and we will take testimony from the parties' witnesses at that time and consider any other filings that the parties have made. And with that, we will close today's hearing and thank everyone for their participation. Let me find somebody that might, okay, let's do this. Mr. Anselmo has advised the commission that all the parties to the case that are what we consider a party is the applicant, in this case Dominion, any interveners. In this case, we have CMC Steel, which is an industrial customer. We have the South Carolina Energy Users Committee, which is a organization of large industrial customers. We have the South Carolina Coastal Conservation League and Southern Alliance for Clean Energy, which are proponents of renewable energy as well as environmental issues in the state. I hope I'm saying that correctly, ladies. And then the Office of Regulatory Staff, and the Office of Regulatory Staff represents the public interest in South Carolina. All ratepayers, whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial. They have just advised us that they have reached a settlement agreement on the issues. I don't know what those are. I have not seen the document that Mr. Anselmo referenced. Now, what will happen now is they will present their all the different parties have filed, most of the parties have filed testimony of witnesses that they intend to present at the hearing. We will listen to those witnesses and have this document that he has referenced, and we will make a decision based on all the evidence before the commission. Does that help? Yes. All right, sir. I'm just very careful because it's very difficult for us to answer questions because we do sit in a judicial capacity, but I hope that helps. And if parties, if I have misstated anything, please correct me. You're don't feel free to say if I said something incorrect there. Okay. Anything further? Thank y'all. We are adjourning this hearing, and we will reconvene in the morning for the parties to present their cases at 10 a.m. Everyone have a good evening. Safe travels.